is this. Rent a sister, coaxing Japan's hikikomori men out of their bedrooms. So is there rent a brother? No. Because who knew? That would just be creepy. Some man trying to get some child out of their room. Wow, smashed, right? Or who knew? Just what is going on?
Japan has a problem.
Oh, Japan, right? It's just Japan.
Hundreds of thousands of young men who lock themselves away in their bedrooms, sometimes not leaving their homes for decades.
Wow. Just relentlessly looking into the abyss, right? What is going on?
They're known as hikikomori, people
They're known as hikikomori, right? Yes. They are the people of the Shire. They are called hikikomori. Smashed.
who have completely withdrawn from society.
Completely? Um, why do they have posters and shirts that have hashtag and pound on it? And wow, who knew this was the stare of trauma? Just Bashwood. The relentless stare of Bashwood. Wow. Just refracted into oblivion.
I was so unhappy. I cried every day, blaming my parents.
Oh, he couldn't wait. I cried every day, blaming my parents. Hmm. Who knew as a child you just see the hypocrisy, mainly in the parent? And that in their teaching you of the false love, you just relentlessly learn to hate. Meaning succumbing to the swarm. Fully. A full emotive, just empath. A fury. Okay?
I felt completely lost.
Just exactly shattered.
I felt angry at myself, angry at society,
Angry at myself, angry at society. Okay. So angry at parents, angry at society, angry at himself.
like there was nothing I could do.
Nothing you could do.
It's a condition
Paralyzed.
without a proper medical diagnosis or
It's a condition without a proper medical. What? Bashwood?
a standard course of treatment.
Once he smashed the window, another time he punched my wife and broke her ribs.
Oh, just smashed. Wow, who knew it would come to that? Who knew? Who knew that relentless smashing would inevitably come to that?
But there is something that seems to be helping.
Something.
Ayako is a
Ayako?
rental sister.
Wow,
She-
rent. For hire. The flesh for hire.
She and Atsuko are part of a specialized group of women available for hire who are getting paid to help Japan's most reclusive young men get out of their bedrooms and back into society.
Oh, right, because that is the point. Just like No Child Left Behind and all this notion of, yes, get all kids the equal opportunity to go to bash school. Yes. And if your child is, because the ultimate currency is, you guessed it, the human. So if you're not taking care of their investment, meaning they trade and just swap your bond, the worth of your, paper that says that you are alive, meaning you are that much. Anyone could say, "Yep, that's what I got," and then they trade it, and it's just defiled. Boasting, just boasting, just boasting. It's the pride. It's the pride of the mechanics of it all. The fact that you are just relentlessly consuming yourself, defiling yourself, and it's all has a paper trail. Wow, who knew? and at the same time get them back to society, because that's what we need. We need these young men to just relentlessly work until they suicide, and then we have a name for that too, because it's just that much stress. Whoa. But no, it's the pride of the nation. And wow, the shame of not being able to fit in. Oh, the shame. Victimhood is the 33rd degree of light worship smashed. And of course, he's in the corner just smashing that down. It's just like a traumatized animal, just in the corner, just look always just paranoid. Any little sound, oh, what's that? What's that? Oh, what's going on? World hacks, right? Smashed into fractal of the abyss.
Away from Tokyo's bright lights, tall buildings, and busy.
Right, because behind all this facade, behind all this, you guessed it, behind all this fiasco is the true just gutter, ditch, the relentless ditch that all of these people are stumbling at. The difference being they are smashing so good, and it's so juicy that they somehow behave. They still are not paralyzed like the supposed hikikomori, whatever. And however, they're stumbling within, just relentlessly in conflict. But of course, they're the best actors. Who knew? It's all actors, and that's why you worship actors. All because it's a bash image that therefore you have to create your image in order to be supposedly worth something. Smashed.
Junctions are the people I've come here to meet.
Amelia Hemphill. Hemphill. What is this? Of course. Oh, just a wandering, curious journalist. Oh, yes. Traveling the world, just relentlessly uncovering the truth. What? Smashed. Pushing certain narratives, pushing this, sliver-tonguing this. Oh, although there's no medical condition, we're just going to tell you about it anyway. And present it as some bash. Because really, what's going on? People that are just confused, paralyzed, relentlessly just... And they don't want to participate into what you call society, because society is so great.
Hikikomori at different stages of a complex recovery. The condition can affect both.
Right, it's so complex. There's no definition for it, or it hasn't been identified, but it's just so complex. So we know the recovery steps.
Men and women, but most are young men between 18 and 35.
Wow, who knew 18 and 35-year-old men are under this relentless confusion? Angry, just angry, full of anger, resentment, unforgivingness. Okay, they just have some image that smashed them, and they can't let go. The image is too good. Even in their victimhood, it's too good.
And this is not just a handful of people. It's estimated that there are about 500,000 people living as a...
It's estimated 500,000. Really? I thought it was millions. And that 500,000 are just, just out there. And that the millions somehow they go through it and somehow come back or whatever. Who knows? Who gives a bash? They're telling you what it is, and it's not just Japan.
Hikikomori in Japan. But because there can be a lot of shame associated with having a hikikomori child, many families keep the condition a secret. And
wow, who knew? It's the same thing with people with physical disabilities, the same thing with somebody who is confused of what they are. Wow, you name it. Not that a physical disability does not mean that you don't know what you are. It just means people might treat you just by the operation of what they have been bashed with, saying, oh, well, you have to be inclusive in this and that. So they have an image of you without even knowing anything. Not that, oh, you have to know them fully to even know. No. Do you see the truth? What does one see? Because truly it doesn't matter what bash image you are inside, or what feels good and what doesn't. Oh, you made me feel bad. Smashed. What smash ape, actually has, actual effect on this another smash ape? None. They either know the truth and know their place and live, or they're just smashing each other. So, what's going on? What is going on?
Struggle to get proper help. That's where the rental sisters come in.
Oh, you guessed it. The rental sisters come in full gear with their innocence and their book bags.
The idea was dreamed up by an organization called New Start, and
It was stirred. It was cooked up. It was spirit cooked out of nowhere, and it's just this relentless, good, jolly organization called New Start. Wow, who knew that there was a solution already to some problem that's just relentless? Apparently, what's going on? Some solution? Really? So if there's a solution, why isn't there a source of the cause? What is? Oh, it's just it could be anything. It's shape shifting. Who knows that they're just push they're just not sane. Because it truly is legion. It's multiple ways of defilement and just smashing and fractaling and splintering from the worship of light and the boasting of self, all while thinking you're batting away thoughts left and right, all in the name of some enlightenment, some peace, some world peace. Wow, smashed.
it seems to be working. These young women don't
It's
have
working! It's working! Followed by like a machine gun fire of cartoon images of women. Wow.
any formal medical qualifications, but families pay about
So they're just it's just some regular ass person, and they're the ones just saving everyone. Yay!
100,000 yen a month for weekly hour-long visits. That's
Weekly
just under
hour.
$900.
$900
Their job
for
is to try to
1
coax
hour
the
a week.
hikikomori out of isolation and back into regular life.
They couldn't wait, and back into regular ass life. Wow. So somehow this person is not living? Wow. Exactly. You have no idea what the life is. Wow. Because life to you is this regular ass society life that is bashed. So bashed. Yet you worship it. Wow. Who knew? And whether you worship it or not, guess what? Life relentlessly brings forth, gives. But no, you say, oh, we are paving the way to space and elevators to the moon. Smashed. It's all image bending and, contorting and just manipulation. All so that to steer some sort of sense of progress. It's a treadmill of the centuries, of generations. There's nothing new under the sun. For the same agenda is on the worship list, which is, you guessed it, worship the light. Worship the shimmering things that promise false wholeness, false gold, meaning, you guessed it, smashing your head against a gold brick, thinking, oh, I am the gold, I am the light, I am the love. Smashed.
So what does it take to be a rental sister? And are they actually helping to solve the problem?
There is no technique. I don't pretend. I just try to connect with them on their level.
Who knew? Who knew it was like a negotiator? A relentless negotiator. Just some regular ass person that, I don't know, I just try to connect. Bring them into me. I try to bring them and then bring them slowly back. I take them out for a walk outside. And then who knew this was Dr. Leo Marvin? They're a bunch of little Leo Marvins walking around Bob and teaching him how to baby step his way into not fearing the world and being such a OCD, germaphobe, hypochondriac, relentless, emotional frizzball of just abyss swallowing and guzzling and animating and just vomiting and relentlessly consuming back. So what is going on?
Ayako
Right.
has been a rental
Oh, I
sister
just go try to connect with all these just bash things with anything. I just shapeshift to anything. I become that which the individual in the trauma state is looking for. I just relentlessly shapeshift. I'm just there and say hi. Just respond. If they're angry, I'm okay. I'll this and this and that and this. But no training, zero training. Just you know, 1,010, 1,110 and 11 and just 1 with just level empath, okay? Because that's what they believe. So that's why I say it.
over a decade. For the last 6 months, she's been working with a recovering hikikomori in his late 20s called Kenta. His parents pay for Ayako to visit him every 2 weeks.
Wow, it takes 6 to 2 years to connect with a hikikomori, man. Wow. Okay, what is this? It's like the long con of just bringing back, negotiating back into society, into regular ass life, right? According to these people. Just bring them back to society. Bring them back from their isolation and back to regular ass life. Wow, what a shame. What are you saying? What, of course, total boasting of any notion of life. They're like, yeah, of course. Of course this is life. I mean, sure, you need to be able to be self-reliant and just have a job, but basically that's what it means. And, you know, pay your rent and pay your bills, and there, you're good. And then you're good. And then you can just go and smash some other thing and smash and rise above the ashes and lead the people into the ashes. Smashed. Exactly. Smashed. What is going on? And of course, what is she wearing? Some butterfly? It's just some shape shifting image that's two cockatoos and parrots and just your piss and oh, it's gonna be anything. Wow.
She took me along to one of her sessions in the suburbs of Tokyo. Kenta has now managed to move
These
out
look
of
like
home.
prison cells. Where are they? This. Wow, exactly. Japan is light years away from what it. I mean, these are the slums. They call it the suburbs, the slums. You know, the highly, just diversity. There's like 1 million people in like the 2 block perimeter. Just everyone is living in these like little tiny ass rooms with like 30 people inside. But they all have jobs. Right? As long as they all have jobs, right? Yes, they all have jobs, and who knew they have a bathroom? Come on, right? I mean, at least they have a bathroom and some sink and a table and this and that. Smashed. They're light years away from what you think is not even close. But of course, it's happening. It's just the inverse in the Americas. Confusion is the root, though. Who knew? Who knew confusion and doubt is just has legions and legions of blistering, just open sores. That you misinterpret and value as, oh, the source of life. Smashed. Smashed.
But still can't hold down a job.
Can't hold down a job. So he's useless according to their society. It's like, well, what a shame. Right? Still can't hold a job. So what's paying for this then? And so his parents are paying probably for his room and board and for the sitter. It's a sitter that checks up on him in case he turns dead. Because who knows? Aren't these people like high risk people according to American terms? Just, relentlessly angry at themselves and the world. I mean, people would say, oh, that's a domestic terrorist in the making. Or like all this not like who knew? Oh, but no, they have sitters. They have sitters that come and check up on them. How amazing, right? Oh wow, it's so advanced. Wow, no, because of course it's just recruitment back to the proverbial machine of what doesn't matter because you worship it because you smash it and you smash light into it, and then the light tells you what to do. Amazing. So polite, exactly.
Ayako
Just
told me
greeting,
that it can
just saying
sometimes
hello.
take between 6 months.
Wow, so this person lives alone. What is going on? Does this person have children? Does he play with dolls relentlessly? What is going on? What is going on?
Months and 2 years to build trust and start the recovery process.
Right, the recovery. What? Just exactly. What is this? Two X's, the double hacks on the inverted, circle within the cube, and the lines of the wisdom locked by the trippiness of the hills of the abyss. What is going on? And just dots everywhere, just smashing you. Oh, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. And of course, he worships the light. Look, just blasting. It's like a sun. The sun, and the image is blasting this, right? And he's like, yes. What is going on?
I got bullied at school because
I mean, this is all just programming. I mean, they're telling you hashtag me. So it's him. It's all about him. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But of course, he knew they were coming. Of course, he picked out what he was going to wear. Of course. Who knew? It was, oh no, it's just a regular ass person, just severely, just severely under some severe stress and this. So just give him a break. What's going on? What break? There is no break. It's relentless. The swarm is relentless. Oh, what's going on?
people thought I had a high-pitched voice and I was friends with all the girls in my class.
So
They
people
would
thought I had a high pitched voice and I was friends with all the girls in class. Okay. Would that explain all this product? The pink and purple and all these, what are these Disney movies? And it just, what's going on? Oh, that's just Japanese culture. Okay. Well, if they were making fun of you because you had a high pitched voice and they're like calling you a girl, it's just both man and female with this phenotype, they all have very just tight, just flesh in the sense of just clean lines, clean. It's just they look young relentlessly. Okay, so who knew that even in adult life they're very. I mean, if clean shaven, the man even they don't get that much facial hair, but the they're very fine features. Okay, so what's going on? Okay, so don't give me what. So you were victimized for looking like a girl. The other people should have probably looked in the mirror and said, maybe if somebody called me a girl too, so I'm a hypocrite. Exactly, but no. Could it be that maybe you're just weak? A weak person. And ultimately, we are all weak, but we boast in our ability to just shapeshift and brainwash ourselves into some sort of notion of betterment and just boasting and relentless swelling. Love self. So it's two sides of the same coin, you know. You're overtly, people take sympathy for you and say, "Oh, it must be horrible. What is this and all this?" But like, really, what is going on? It's the same thing. Two sides of the same coin, okay? They're boasting. And guess who? Guess the boasting is at the who's at what's at the blonde end of boast? You guessed it. Everyone else. Okay, so it's just smash, and smash as hard as you can, because it's a dog eat world, right? Wow, smashed.
Say, are you a boy or a girl?
How
Oh,
did you
he couldn't
feel
wait.
when you were hikikomori?
I was taking medicine. I was
Oh, so he was taking medicine already, or during, or after? No, just I was taking medicine. So maybe who knew he was taking medicine, and then maybe that's where it all just smashed. You know, his anger with his confusion combined with some meds and just relentless, just smash wood. Wow, who knew? All of a sudden, just it's a flat line. What's going on? And all of a sudden, it's just like, oh, we're gonna try and rent a sister back you into real regular ass life. Smashed.
so unhappy. I cried every day, blamed my parents. I felt completely lost.
Exactly. Cried every day. Blame my parents. Was completely lost. Just like this pan on some weight. Is there some burner? Wow, amazing. Right? Who knew? Who knew Japan has burners like this and they're just relentlessly just smashing? And of course, just guzzling down Japanese beer probably or 7 Up. Who gives a damn? But what is this? Of course, they have to show you the isolated pan in the corner. Oh, just poor Himaku or whatever this person is saying they're smashed with. Whatever. This pan is relentlessly being smashed against the relentless balls, because where is the man that I see it behind those sad eyes? Where is the man that is calling out to him saying, what is going on? And the man truly is the purity of the life that is the ultimate gift. Wow. The life we do nothing for day in, day out. Oh, you say, oh, I exercise. I only eat the best foods. That's what I do to keep my body and my cells breathing and doing it. Smashed. 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 Smashed by the light. Smashed by the light, fragmented into just names and disciplines and this and that and fractals of fractals and fractals and sectors of sectors and sections of sections and compartments of compartments, and wow, who knew? Who knew? Relentless labyrinth. You guessed it. But all the promise is some sort of fulfillment through that relentless labyrinth. Wow, what a shame. Because the purpose is clear. But do you see? Because the true shelter, the true the love of the Father, of course, is the truth. But do we seek our own truth and smash and, defile it until we just prove ourselves right relentlessly? Or are we just, what? What are we waiting for? Nothing. Smashing. Exactly. You can't wait. And who knew smashing would feel so good when you were already bashed? So what's going on? Of course, it's just serpent eating itself. Wow, who knew? It couldn't be. It has to be this pan. It has to be this pan just relentlessly smashing him, and it's just so hot. It's just sticking on him and just smashing again, peeling off and smashing, sticking and peeling off. Oh, it's so hot, but he can't stop.
There was one time I even got violent, and my parents
Oh.
had to call the police. I was basically nocturnal. I would
Okay,
stay
so
up
he
all
had
night
some
playing
shame there
video
because
games, and then
the father said, yeah, he bashed my wife. He bashed his wife. This guy bashed his mother and just said, I hate you, Mom. Bashed. Broke her ribs. But no, he says, yeah, I became violent and my parents called the cops. And then he's just playing points. He's gathering up coinage, just so many relentless coins. But who knew it's the same, two sides of the same coin. There's this dude relentlessly collecting coins here. And then there's some other bash actually collecting coin in the so-called regular ass real life. And just smashing the same way. Wow, who knew? Who knew? No. Supposedly the other side of the spectrum over here is somehow better. It's being part of society, don't you know? Smashed. Smashed. Oh, it's just relentless. It's actually very revealing every day. Yet you're so programmed to see the smash image that it's almost like you don't even see the relentless ditch that you stumble over that you call life. Oh, life is just this relentless ditch that I keep stumbling over, but I call it lessons and mistakes. Just smashed. All because you're just negating, just blind, because you've just smashed by the light, and now all you have is your supposed feeling. The feeling is the fury. That is the aberration, in many ways, of the love of the Father. It's the counterfeit aberration of the love of the Father because it's what you have manifested from stepping away and saying, yup, nope, there's no such thing. Wow. And then ritualizing, meaning living according to the image that you ritualized into just smashing into. Who knew?
Then sleep during the day until the late afternoon.
Wow.
The reason why people become hikikomori
Of course, just relentlessly just staring at the screens, just blasting this, just the abyss. Sleeping during the day, just blasting at night. Well, who knew that after watching all these relentless, vampire things and this, just sorcery and witchcraft, the darkness, the abyss, just shattered. For all these animes and things, and who gives a bash, Hollywood, you name it, it's the same sorcery. But of course, no, it's just children these days. Oh, we have to bring relentless sisters and get them back into real society. Yes.
is complex and not well understood. Sometimes, like
So
Kenta's
complex.
case, the social withdrawal can be caused by bullying or a traumatic event. It can
Oh, she couldn't wait. Yes, you guessed it. Trauma. Trauma made this. Okay? Life giveth and trauma maketh this. Okay? Yes. So ultimately, the lifeline to the Father is relentless, yet what is this person ritualizing? What are they worshiping exactly? Which who knew actually perpetuates or renews, okay? Because once there's renewal, who knew the Father renews your heart? Who knew? Who knew? But it's your choice. You must. You must see. Do you see? Everyone's confused. Everyone's under identity crisis. So whether it is on the one side, Japan or America or Europe, who gives a bash? People are clueless. And each generation is showing it more and more. What does that mean? That's telling you there's going to be a quick flip around and telling you what it is, but you're already just so confused. It'll be just so easy. Wow, who knew? Who knew? It's just relentless temperature checking, calling it names and crises and calling it this and the use of language and pronouns and all this bash. No, it's all selling you a false image of just moving somewhere, right? Oh, well, it's just a matter of this and orientation and just politics, relentless politics, politics, politics. Yes, 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 yes. Wow. What are you living? What image do you see? What is the life? What is the love? What is the truth? But of course, it's all just relative smash to you. Smash and fractal upon fractals, and oh, who knows? It's just regular as people just trying to keep this ship afloat, and who knows, it could blow at any given moment. Oh, smashed. It's because you believe it. That's why I say it. You believe that it couldn't possibly be that such a word as conspiracy is something that defines a ritual, a behavior. Hmm. And people also, scoff at, wow, no. This means that, oh, this certain people are just have mental illness. We must give them relentless sisters and brothers and just false love of the world and get them back to the ways of the world. Yes, yes. Wow, just smashed. Any so-called mental illness is a crying out loud. It's a testimony in the book of life to what the swarmith is doing relentlessly. And who knew that, oh wow, yeah, sure, medicine helps me live a normal life, a regular ass life, but I'm still, traumatized by the side effects are horrible and this and that. It's relentless, right? All because just the relentless denial of the truth. All the sufferings of the world are the life void of the life, void of the love, and void of any truth, because it's relative truth that smashes. Just void of the truth, because who knew that all those things are inevitably just bound to be the thought that never was. Because what is the life everlasting, the true promise, not the false promise of some future self that you're going to boast more about and just have to enjoy the journey somehow and hope you live to see it. Smashed. Smashed, smashed, smashed! And no wonder the children are just relentlessly being defiled. And who knew that, the light smashes and maketh this? And this person is legion, okay? The smash light smashes everyone. It's just certain bashes are just relentlessly, oh, I have super shocks and I do this and I just sit down and get hemorrhoids and blast into the abyss. And then I go stretch and huff and puff and blood, sweat, and tears. And then I go and then I run. I go to the gym, just do relentless things. I fill my week and just do so many things and see so many people. I'm so amazing. Smashed. So what is going on? No clue.
It can also stem from depression, too much pressure from parents, or just failure to hold down a job or degree. Every case is different.
Everything. So it could be anything. Wow, who knew? Exactly, it could be anything in the sense of anything that defiles your image because you relentlessly worship it. So you're relentlessly trying to protect it. So what happens when you don't get what you want? You have to keep jaws smashing, right? Work your ass off. That's what the successful people say. Do whatever it takes. But who knew some people are just like, wow, that's smash. And all while they're like, well, if I'm not that, then what am I? Exactly. Clueless. Bashed. Smashed. Because there is no fulfillment in any of these, even like ancient alien or just like galactic family smash, because inevitably you're living, but you're living a so-called fantasy that you have to be complacent about and just accept and just smash your an image of yourself and then just try to better and boast and rearrange and this and that and manipulate and wave your little wand and this and that. But no, what do you see? Because the life you're living is relentless. It's the life everlasting. So what do you see? And what is the ritual you worship? Because any worship of the light that shimmers and shapeshifts and just is easily manipulated to your comfort and, approval, all designed by man's value and worth and ethic and all this smash, without ever seeing the truth, which is relentless. There is no such thing as relative truth. There's no such thing as relative love, because all love of the world is false, an aberration. Worms, serpents, the hair of the Medusa that promise you and slither you and just tickle and defile your ear, because it turns on you on a dime. Who knew? Who knew that's what people call heartbreak? Just the lashing of the false love of the world. Who knew? And who knew children already had experienced it before in the parent that teaches them the false love of the world, because their love is all based on, you say what mommy and daddy do and then we'll give you snacks, yay. Or no, it's always reward, based on a command. And it's all just, no. Because eventually the child is going to see, wait, my sense of belonging comes from all this reward things and these. And exactly. No notion of love. Void. Because the parents are void. They don't see the love of the Father. They don't accept it and just bask in its glory. And seek the wisdom of the way of the Father. Wow. Who knew? Instead, no. Mom and daddy are just still bashed and they're somehow working it out and just still resenting and hating each other and just smashing. But no, they love you so much. Smashed. They love the idea of you being in their lives and somehow, oh, you're so in charge of them. Wow, what are we doing? We have no idea. Smashed. No man can save another, let alone himself. Repent. The ways of man are folly. What man is here to do is endure the flesh and seek refuge under the truth. The sword of truth that smashes and cuts deeper than any fleshly sword. Because truly, otherwise, anything other than that, of course, we all have been exposed to the defilement. The relentless defilement. But what happens? Just relentless retainment and just compressing of anger and just being so emotional. Anything makes you cry or anything makes you just blow up. Okay, just you're tweaked out. Just a relentless just confusion and just smash. You have no idea what you're doing. Why you're here? Why do you even choose to live? I didn't even choose to live. See, exactly. There's no. And then you have other people saying, well, I didn't choose to feel what I feel I am like, right? I just know I am this two-parent. I am a two-parent. Call me two-parent, please. So what is going on? No, it's just false notions of love and false notions of, you guessed it, life. Based on just idol worship, image this, image that, blasting this. No. Smashed.
Having a rental sister has changed you.
I enjoy seeing my rental sister very much.
I enjoy
we
it
go
so
out
much.
to eat and then go out together. And I feel like she supports me.
Supports
It
you
makes
so much.
so much difference.
She's
to
being
how
paid to. Of course she supports you. She's
I
walking you.
feel compared with just being alone.
Yes.
And she cheers me up.
Yes. Okay, this person looks like just straight out of Middle Earth, somewhere in Rivendell. What's going on? Because what is going... Hashtag QM. Pound QM. Pound cum. Who knows? Who knows? Walking the relentless pavement that's just slashing them. Relentlessly just pulled and relentlessly scrapeth on this curb right here. Look. All the while, it is watching you right here. It is right here. Watch out. It is right here. Watch out. ditch the relentless stare of the abyss, which promises you what? Exactly. Horror, terror. But all the while, it's just shape-shifting.
Ayako told me later that it's actually quite rare for the client to have fun with the rental sister
Oh,
and
it's so
enjoy
rare.
seeing them. But
So
she's
rare.
hoping that soon Kenta won't need her anymore.
Can't tell.
The time when I
Soon,
stopped
the
seeing
little bird will have his strength. Oh, and he'll have the confidence to just go and smash and hold down a job. Yes, he can do it. Yes, you can. Smashed. Why don't you tell him? Listen, it's all a fiasco. You must live the life to live. See the life to see. The life everlasting. The love of the Father. The wisdom of the way of the Father. And live. Because truly, what happens in the flesh at that point, well, it could mean your life, but wow. Who knew it matters? Who knew? Who knew? No, it doesn't even it doesn't matter what I do because YOLO. Because of YOLO. YOLO. Right? Smashed.
Ayako will be, I'll miss her if I cannot see her.
Feeding
But when I
dog.
can work properly and become stable,
Stable.
what people misunderstand is that our society is very tough on the weak.
I asked Ayako what kind of approach she takes when working with young men like Kenta.
The world is really strong on the weak. What are you saying?
If I try to be something fake, the patients will realize that. Being myself, just the way I am. Even if I'm a bit late or tired, the client will feel, it's okay to be like that. It will be difficult if you're not patient or get disappointed if the client will not respond to you. You have to remember that this is just a job.
Just ritual.
But for the
Ritual,
families
exactly.
with hikikomori children, the condition can have a huge impact.
Huge.
I met a father, we'll call him Mr. Haruto,
Yeah,
whose
just
son
faceless.
became
It's so
withdrawn as a
shamed.
teenager and 2 decades later still barely leaves his room.
I don't know how to handle this. It feels like there are no options. Even after the boy's mother died, he didn't change. So I don't foresee any hopes for the future.
So why is your son in his room?
I don't know the reason. One day, he just stopped going to school. At first, he would go out sometimes to buy comic books, and then he just stopped going out altogether. We didn't know what to do. There were 2 or 3 times we had to call the police because my son got violent. Once he smashed the window, another time he punched my wife and broke her ribs.
Knowing where to get
Smashed.
treatment can be hard, especially if the
Right, because who knew? Who knew like relentless parents deal with rebellious teenagers that just smash, and most of them say, "I love you anyway," but you smash me anyway because it's okay, I love you. Right? Just it doesn't matter at that point. It's just smashing the smashed, and what's going on. So it just doesn't even matter at that point. It's just a big soap opera, the relentless runbacks, and just back to back, relentlessly over and over, Crimson and Clover, you guessed it. Multiple names, multiple generations, and wow, they're still talking about the same smash. So what is going on? Exactly. The proverbial up. You just gotta wait until you get to the top. You just gotta wait. No, just keep walking. Don't worry, you'll get there. And once you get there, you're like, oh yes, it's amazing. Yes, yes. Okay, now what? Exactly. It was the journey, wasn't it? And all of a sudden, it's just smash. At that point, you'll believe anything. So, what's going on? Just smashed.
hikikomori refuses to leave his
Oh, he's
room to
taking a
visit a
pee.
doctor.
Amazing.
Mr. Haruto decided that New Start's rental sisters seemed worth a try.
It seemed worse.
I
At that point, he's like, well, I don't know. I'm too embarrassed to try and find out who to go see for this. And at this point, I saw some ad for just renting some person, a visitor, a sitter, a walker. And sure, because at this point, my son just hates me. and doesn't listen to me, just in his room. He makes himself craft dinner and just relentlessly just, who gives a damn, right? Wow, just smashed. What weak parents. Weak. Weak. What is going on? Who knew that weak parents make weak people? In the sense of bashwood is bashwood. Because even the one that say, I'm strong, smashed. The weakest.
I thought perhaps they could talk to my son because it was clear that family members couldn't do anything anymore.
Just
An
hands
experienced rental
tied.
sister called
I was
Atsuko
bound, I'm defiled. Oh no. Victimhood to 33, smashed. Smashed.
started to visit.
Because no, we're never wrong. Nobody's ever wrong. We're relentlessly right, always, especially parents. Yes, and especially government is always right. Yes, of course, yes. Everything is just in favor. Yes, it's just favor. Yes. And that's why you always beg. You're asking for favors relentlessly. Am I allowed to do this? Oh, can I get out of bed? Oh, can I do this? Can I take a breath, please? Sell it to me. Smashed.
Today, I will visit the hikikomori in his home. So far, I visited about 10 or 15 times, but he never comes out of his room. So I have to talk to him through the door.
Right, smashed.
Apparently, that's quite a common reaction.
Buys him stuff. Brings him. It says shop and go. Shop and go, nanny. She's only 160 yen. No, 100,000 yen. Who knew $900 per weekly visit? Who knew? It's like, oh, I'm a sex worker, but all they want is just conversation. So I just go and converse. It doesn't matter. I'm just a regular ass person. Who knew? And who knew, actual trafficking of people is what we relentlessly do, but we call it different things, and we just feel so good about it. Smashed. So why is it then that just the people who actually experience just the most carnal of it all, it's like, oh, no, that's human trafficking. When children are raped and just kidnapped, oh yeah, that's human trafficking. Oh yeah, no, that's the worst of it all. Yet it happens in all levels of worship of light. Who knew? Oh no, somehow I escaped it all. Smashed. Repent. Admit you are wrong. In pursuing this, the abyss, you guys did. Look, blue abyss. And following this, blue, just a relentless smashing it. Oh, the middle is the third eye. Yeah, smashed. 160.
In the early stages.
By Apple. Who guessed?
Even though the young man refuses to talk to her, she still writes him long letters that she pushes underneath the door.
Just long letters. Long letters because who knows? It's just a regular ass job. So, does she care? Who knows? You say, oh well, they must develop some sort of attachment, this and that. No, they said it was just a regular ass job. Who knows? You have to remember, even if they're not paying attention, but you have to remember it's just a regular ass job. And that's what they said. Their words. So what's going on now? All of a sudden they're sneaking notes under the table. This. Okay, this is okay. What a cry for help would be probably what a term that would be. Okay, I know what that means. This is a cry for help. But what is the cry? What is the cry? You say for help? No. Because there's multiple, it's legion. Crying is legion. Look at all the people that are crying. Who knew it's the sufferings of the world, the trauma of the abuse of the flesh? Who knew? And you guessed it, just somehow it's infringing on all on the life. It's now in every ritual of the life now. It's just defilement relentlessly. Crimson and clover over and over, day in, day out. And who knew that, oh, it's just slipping, the life is slipping through our fingers. That's what parents feel like, oh, I feel like I have no, control over my children. Why are my children doing this? Smashed. You're seeing yourself and how smashed you are. And that's why you're like, oh, what have I done? Smashed. No, you've done nothing except boast yourself and relentlessly push for your image. That's what you've done. And most likely try to create your supposedly spouse in your image. So completely just emasculating him and just smashing his balls relentlessly over hardwood floor with steel toes. Oh, just relentlessly smashing and smashing and he's just like, yes, honey, would you like me to stand here more longer? Yes, okay, no problem. Just smashed, smashed. And all because of the children. Yes, all smashed. False love. Those children are just waiting, time tick, because to them, oh, it's YOLO. And just make the best of your life because your mommy and daddy are hypocrites. And everybody's just smashing because who knows? They don't know anything and they're just doing their best. They're trying their best and you should try your best. So aim for the sky and just relentlessly smash yourself in the corner of the sidewalk outside because that's life, baby. Who knows? But, you have to just relentlessly get up and up and up and up and up and up and just boast and relentlessly self-love. And sit down and get hemorrhoids and blast with desire rockets left and right and center, inwards and outwards into the galaxy and beyond. With Buzz Lightyear, you guessed it. And all his plastic anime friends. And all the superheroes of the galaxy, yes. And all the apparent, all the gods of this and gods of this. No, smashed. Fantasy. Who knew? But you think Lord of the Rings and all the Smash, Harry Potter and all these smashed series and all it's just fantasy. Wow, no. It's what you actually liveth, because who knew that you're actually living a fantasy of your own image, blasting you into some future that you're relentlessly supposedly working for. Wow, who knew? Smashed. Because it relentlessly shows you that it's smashed, and it's smashing, and it's always smashed, and it's never getting better, and it never will. It's all just to the point of complete combustion, and then telling you this is what it is. Oh, now we see. But by that point, you're too bashed to even know what you are in the first place and what you were even here for. But it was just smashed. And at that point, you're like, oh, that image is so amazing. Smashed. You don't even know. Just seduced by light. The sirens have called you and you're grinding aground. Who knew? The Titanic. You're just relentlessly just looking up at the smashing abyss. And you're like, oh, smashing abyss. And you guessed it. It was all planned. It was all sunk. Who knew it was the epic eulogy? Who knew it was the longest? It was the long con, of course. It's the reverberations of the effect in the story that it's then relentlessly believed and carried forth. And who knew that, to every story there's some sort of bashed image of some sort of morality, some sort of sense of cause for humanity. It's just a sorcery of it at its best. It's one of the most. Wow, who knew? Who knew that it's all about maintaining and promoting and working and elaborating and all this. It's just malleating and just a little bit of this, just making it the most luscious and most saviors. The most just enticing and just so just so voluptuous, full. And I can't wait to get just smashed. Okay, it's all smashing you. You are a desire rocket gone blue, blue ball to the pink of this flower, and of course ice cold, relentlessly just freezing. Meaning, yes, vacating. What is the abyss? Who knew? Life is who knew life? Who knew that the flesh? Who knew the flesh? Is living? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? And it's warm. Men and women are warm. Wow, who knew? But no, it's just, we're just, a little mouse is our ancestor. Wow. Who knew that's why you worship Mickey Mouse? Who knew? Because it's the ultimate worship, and he's waving his wand of evolution. And just laughing and turning up storms and just smashing. It's amazing. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? A little shrew called Mickey Mouse. It's the missing link from the past and amazing. Wow, smashed.
I try not to make them feel like someone's looking down on them or
Never.
trying to control them. I'm not trying to be
So
a
you're not
teacher,
trained, but you
I
know all
try
these
to
things.
interact
Amazing.
with them like an older sister or a neighbor. Someone more casual who worries about them and is there for them as a gentle presence.
Right, so
Most
they
hikikomori
have all
aren't
these
violent,
manipulative
but Atsuko
intents, right? Who knew? Who knew you call that just, thoughtful, being thoughtful? No, it means manipulation. You're creating, you're sourcing, you're cooking up some magic, some images and you're bash, and then you're saying, yes, yes, if I say this word and this and that and this and this, it'll have this. Who knew? And who knew that, wow, it does. And wow, in the end, it's wordsmithing. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Yet, you say you're not trained, but wow, you are awfully very good at what you do. You're a master manipulator. Amazing.
always has to be on her guard for any unpredictable behaviour.
When I do my visit, there are many people who are calm and
Okay,
don't
what regular ass person would just, yeah, I'm just gonna go walk this person, and all of a sudden they freak out? Would they just the person would probably just stun them, pull out their weapon and spray them? Who knows? Because that's what a regular ass person would do if somebody freaked out. But no, of course they're trained. They're trained in how to just probably knock the, what out of them, and just, they have a little tie that they'll just, after they completely knock them out, because they know that they're just weak men, that they'll just easily knock out. So these people are they're trained, okay? So who knew that they come across as just regular ass people? But no, rent a sister, come on, pushed by some organization called New Start. Wow, new integration. It's all like the new person, recreate yourself. Yes, buy into it. Yes.
come out of the bedroom, but some hikikomori get upset or violent when a stranger comes into their space. One time when I was speaking to a boy, he physically attacked me, grabbing me by the throat. I was
Exactly.
very scared. I called the police right away. I didn't
So
want
that didn't stop them from doing their job, because they're just relentless sisters. Oh yeah, they relentlessly do it for the cause. Right? What is going on? Why aren't their parents doing this? What is going on? Why did they exactly? Because they're lost, like their child. Who knew? And that's why the father was ashamed of himself. That's why he wasn't even showing his face. Shamed, just shamed. Because what person would be like, wow, what? Because nobody knows what if you ask somebody what a man is, what do you mean? Exactly, just match, nothing. But what father, of a family, of course, if that happens, I mean, that it's the family's void, or has severely gone off into the abyss, hardcore.
to go back there.
Rental sisters like Atsuko aren't mental health counsellors and don't have any formal qualifications.
Okay,
They get some training from
see, they say that again. They couldn't wait. These people are just regular ass people. Remember, regular ass people. Okay. So again, in America, why don't they have these rent-a-sisters, rent-a-cops, rent-a-sitters and walkers, rent-a-walker, rent a human walker that might be just tweaked. It's walking tweak. Okay, you're walking tweak around in a leash, perhaps, but no, you don't say that. But you're trained. Of course, you're trained. Because wouldn't these people be like? Wouldn't people be like, "Wow, I'm so offended for them. There's no help for them." No, they got rent-a-sisters. That's the help for them. What are you saying? They get walked around, and the rent-a-sisters there, relentlessly there, and slips the manipulative notes out of the door, and it's just fine. Wow, who knew that that's the same kind of attention people get that are saying, "No, this is me. Call me this. Use these words." It's the same thing, and then people say, "Yep, yeah, we have to do it." Who knew? It's just catering. That you're being walked. You're being walked down a path of reintegration. Who knew? Who knew? All the while just using you. Using the bash that has been the result of the worship of the light, and using it to further the bondage of the life under those conditions. Who knew? Who knew? It's just relentless defilage, okay? Because no, it couldn't be that just the ways are relentlessly flawed. Just putrid, yes.
from New Start, but that's about it.
New start, of course.
Their
but that's
mission
about
is to
it.
help the hikikomori be okay with who they are and how they feel.
Oh, see, because the same narrative. We're
Make
relentlessly
that work for them.
we're relentlessly telling them that it's okay for them to be what they are. But what are they? No, we'll leave that up to them as long as they say yes. Now I can love myself relentlessly and then go out there and have the world love me back. And if they don't, then it's their fault. Smashed. What is going on? Why are you teaching people this? You're teaching people further way manipulation of the love of the world, the false love of the world that turn on you on a dime. If it no longer serves, you guessed it, some bash purpose. Who knew? Who knew? Nope. No. It's real. It's real. Trust me. I felt it. I felt all woozy and I've fallen in love. No, you've been taken to paradise with Aladdin on the magical carpet of promise. False promise, you guessed it, of an image. Of an image that you've instantly created a fantasy of what certain who cares a bash about is. And all of a sudden, who knew it turned out to be not what you thought it was? Wow! Who knew? All because you were just worshipping images and images and images, all while just relentlessly defiling. Because you're void of the truth, void of the life, and void of, you guessed it, any notion of orientation, of the way of the Father. The way, because the only begotten flesh of the Father, in the sense of, you guessed it, a living man, showed and rocked the world, meaning, yes, he set in rock, it meaning in eternal flesh, the reverberance of the truth, the way and the life. And now you are now overtly turning away or relentlessly just walking with it, to it, in it, forever and ever. Yes, hallelujah. What is this? Just more of the rent a sister, rent a sitter walker of human flesh. All for $900 a week for a 1 hour. Amazing. Coming to America near and no matter where you are, coming to you soon. Because really, who knew? It's all about belonging that people are actually just starving for. Because the starving that they're told they must earn from the ways of the world is relentless. Because man's actual scheme of it all is actually a legion manifestation of what you would call bullying, just defiling. Just anger, fury. Who knew that's what happens when that's the behavior that is lived when it is lived completely negating and just rejecting the truth, the way, and the life. Who knew? Who knew? Because it's all about your truth and their truth, and yes, just respect, tolerate, hold hands, and just sink into the abyss. Yes. All while just singing songs and burning fires and banging drums and smoking sweet grass. All because it's so amazing to see the fire spinners and the baby spinners and the rocket spinners and the desire boomers and everything in between and all the things that you could come to see and even do and experience. Wow, because it's all about the experience, baby. Yeah, the relentless friction. Yes, the in and out, the relentless slop. Oh, you can't wait for the next bite. So what is going on? Just complete plastering, just intoxication of, you guessed it, the flesh. You can't get enough. It's so amazing. And it's so tight and it's so firm and it's just relentless, glorified to the gold. It's just gold upon gold and silver and more, no more enhancements. Yes, more enhancements and attachments.
In a real world setting. But they will
Okay, they couldn't wait. Again, bring them back to a real world setting. Wow, smashed. You mean, yes, to the cities and places that people would call, real settings. Huh, who knew? Smashed. What are you living? Exactly. No clue.
If they feel like they need to.
Oh,
I wanted to find out more about the hikikomori condition and why it's such a phenomenon in Japan.
Right, just bashing you into thinking that it's just Japan that is experiencing the same trauma. It's just smashed. It's just different places, who knew, are attached to being called that this is happening in their society and this one's experiencing that and this, and no. It's happening to you.
I got in touch with the man who wrote the defining book on the subject, Professor and psychologist Tomaki Saito.
So he wrote the book on it, but no, there's no evidence and this and that. It has. So if he wrote the book, then why is so what is so confusing about it then?
Type of condition is very, very common in hikikomori. In Japan, there are less than 10,000 homeless people. Instead, there are about 1 million hikikomori, I think.
So it's between just relentless smashing in the numbers that there are. But look, 1 million. So what? There's hikikomori. Oh, there's 1 million. There's only 10,000 homeless, but million hikikomori just in their house, just relentlessly sleeping, just defiled, paralyzed. Wow, right? Oh, it's very normal. Yes, it happens.
Japanese style of social exclusion.
Professor Saito thinks the problem is far more widespread than government numbers suggest. And it's also becoming an issue in other countries like the US, UK, Italy, and South Korea.
Oh, they couldn't wait! Of course it is. It's happening, Legion. You guessed it. Anywhere the sun worship can just blast its way.
Where young men might feel an overwhelming pressure to succeed financially.
Many people think about hikikomori that they are very lazy, and other people think about hikikomori is a very dangerous and precondition of a criminal. But that is not true.
That's not true.
Statistically,
not true.
So
none of it is true. So they're not lazy and they're not dangerous. They're just numb, paralyzed. Is that what you're saying? They're just completely harmless. They're just anger. They're just living anger. Living just the open gash wound of the victimhood of the 33rd degree, just openly bleeding, just showing you openly what it is to be a worshiper of light. That's the ultimate, sacrifice. That. But somehow you relentlessly go out biking and say, yes, I'm living. Smashed. What is the life? What is the truth? What is the love of the Father? What is the everlasting life? What is a woman? What is a man? What are the children? All simple, foolish questions to you perhaps, but who knew your definition would be completely bashed in the next 5,000. Relentlessly so and so. So where's the coherence? Where's the peace in that? Just do as thou wilt. By the relative truth of some passion, somehow just be bashing in an image of paving the space. Just pave it all. So you could just go there anytime. Pave it all. Pave it all. Pave it over. Just come on, people. Get together. Get your shovels and start building. Yes. Relentlessly build. Yes. Ingenuity. Yes, make more things. Yes, you're so creative. Yes. Wow. Modern art. Just image upon image, relentless things. Oh, wow. The shimmering things and colors and the shape shifting things that allure and please. Wow, who knew? It's beautiful. Smashed. Is that progress? Wow. Is that complete, like, wow, just the ultimate experience in 3D in the flesh? Wow. Smashed. Who knew that's just the exhilaration of the false promise of some bashhood future based on some belief, based on some worship that's openly just shanking you, openly. Yeah, you say, oh no, what? No, it's just, I'm just learning lessons. I'm just learning, relentlessly learning. It's a relentless test. And do I pass the test? Because if I did, then it's good for me. If I don't, I must relentlessly try harder and harder. Smashed. No man's test earns anything. For only the living rewards in all ways. Meaning, what do you see? The living is what relentlessly brings forth life everlasting. Created. That's a purpose. But it couldn't be. No. It has to be my life, and I did it my way, and sing it out with Sinatra, and just call it a night. Just relentlessly, but just defile. Honey against honey, bird against bird, and just smash. Who's next? Exactly.
Independently is seen to be a key part of the recovery process.
Oh, a key part.
Some hikikomori might feel like they're ready to leave their bedrooms, but they aren't quite stable enough to reintegrate back into society.
And that's where the New Start dormitory comes in. It's kind of a halfway house for recovering hikikomori. They pay rent to live there and must do some part-time work and charity volunteering.
So who knew that instead of children that go through some crisis and they're like, oh, what image do I want to associate with? I'm just bashed in so many ways. Well, I choose this one, right? So who knew that these children had a shatter, a trauma, an image? They're confused. They don't want to. They don't want to. It's almost like just leave them alone. That's what they're saying. Who knew that the trust that they thought they had in the world just relentlessly defiled with them? So, what is going on? It's all sorts of trauma here, okay? Just as it is with the people that have no idea what they are, yet they know the power of manipulation of image work and self-boasting and self-love, which the West, the Americas truly does represent at its best. Just relentless boasting and just trying and just showing off. And just going out there and smashing with so many titles and accolades and just pushing paper and just trying to come up with clever things that will get you, raises and this, and put stuff in charts and pass more paper and this, and propose this and that and getting budgets and this and just smashing. Okay, what is it? What's some false promise of more budget and this and bigger salaries and this, so I can go vacation somewhere and travel and perhaps have a family one day. But no, who gives a bash? No, it's all about me and this and my rewards. And then if I later decide, I might just adopt. Who gives a bash, right? And just relentlessly abort any child that I might conceive. Who gives a damn? It's fine. I'll just learn from it and be more empowered. Yes. Smashed. Just okay. What is the goal here? Exactly. It doesn't matter. It's do as thou wilt. As long as it feels good, do it. All with the idea of some relative truth based on some notion of factual reality based on some bash science. Some image, an image of story. It's just a calculated balance. Harry Potter letters and this and that and just things and just wow, who knew that you could make things equally think something, some symbol equals something, and then just make symbols that represent other things, and who knew that was the language of math and the ways of the numbers, and wow, the theories and this and that, wow, who knew? And it's just not upon not and this and that, who knew there's such a thing as string theory and all its complexity and smash of things and light that come in and not they're not in there, the multiplexes of verses. Wow. Smashed. All to just rabbit hole you relentlessly. Doesn't matter where it gets you, but somewhere from the actual life that you are relentlessly living. Who knew? So what is the life? What is life? If not life everlasting, the true promise, the purpose. So what do you see? Because you see, don't you? Even when you're so confused, you see. You see. So what angers you so much? What anger is in you? Cast it out. It defileth you. It casts a spell of self-righteousness and apathy and deep resentment to others. Anything but yourself. Because, yes, you know that there is just relentless self-boasting involved, because who knew that that just maintains a sense of numbness? Because who knew? Who knew? Who knew it's horrifying to see certain things? Who knew? Who knew it's horrifying to live, meaning to have experiences of certain things? Of course, who knew trauma? Who knew trauma is... Who knew trauma no one looks at? It's all about just, okay, just letting go, this and that and this, and hypnotizing you and retrograding you and soul retrieval, this and that. Wow, smashed. Because ultimately, what do you see? If not the truth and the refuge of the truth that it offers you. You know, it's the Father is relentless in his love for you, yet all you see is just alone. You're just alone in some relentless ditch. No, the ditch is is what happens when one goes for the false promise of some augmented light boasting that you must do to just be accepted and have some sort of fulfilling life in the scheme of it all, in society. Wow, smashed. They're, of course, now they're reprogramming.
Which is organised by New Start. They have to give up their phones and are only allowed to watch TV in the communal sitting room. No
So they're
computer
all there,
games allowed.
of course.
Over the past 18 years, New Start has had about 2,000 people live in the dormitory for more than a year. 80% of those have now re-established themselves independently.
82%.
One of those former residents is Ikwo, who's now in his mid-30s. His stint in the New Start dormitory completely turned his life around.
When I was hikikomori, I was totally alone in my room and just played video games or watched TV all the time. I felt angry at myself, angry at society. I felt completely hopeless, like there was nothing I could do.
Right. What leads a person to that open gash wound, to that symptom, to that effect, to that image? Because you might say, oh yeah, it's just, he was just bullied. He was just relentlessly like smashed. So lacks confidence and this and this and that and that. No. This person was taught and raised in a way, the ways of the world. And who knew that it's form? Because everyone is this person, okay? Just other people have shapeshifted and portray, who knows, legions of faces and names. Who knew?
I came to New Start because I didn't want to stay at my parents' house. I didn't think much about it. I just wanted to be away from my parents.
While staying in the dormitory, he
Right?
had to do
Who
some
knew? I didn't know
volunteering
what's
at the New
going on.
Start
I just
offices.
wanted to be away from them. Oh. Oh, wow. Were you trying to escape? Were you trying to escape, perhaps? What are you saying? I mean, what is going on? Of course, there's so many just defiled relationships between supposed parents and children. It's just, who knew? Who knew?
and it was there that he met his future wife, Ayako, the rental sister. They began speaking every day, and
Oh, they couldn't wait. 2 hikikomoris just, whoa, yay! Amazing.
him to start some part-time work as a rental brother.
Oh, they
What
couldn't
made
wait.
you fall in love with
Rent a
each other?
brother.
I had a strong feeling of camaraderie towards him as a rental brother. We took a walking trip together in the mountains near Tokyo where we could just talk and be ourselves.
Be ourselves, because no, you couldn't be yourself, you know, in the recluse of the park or anywhere. No. Had to be in some epic way, the mountain. Yes, you must overcome nature, man over nature. Nature then overcomes all things with woman right in nature. Splashed. The earth brings life forth relentlessly. What do you see? What do you live?
After we got married, the staff and residents from New Start held a celebration for us. I didn't propose to her properly until then, so there at the party, in front of everybody, I proposed and asked her to please smile forever next to me.
Oh, how beautiful! Yes. Please, just make me laugh forever. Oh, take this smile forever. Yes. Wow. Oh, take your smile forever. Smash. Where's this? Of course. Oh, now they're together. Yes. Oh, let them have the false love of the world. Wow, who knew? It'll drop you like a dime and smash you, and then somebody might pick you up later and be, oh, it's some dime, and then kick you and smash you. Use you for some purchase and just smash you and just drop you like a dime. On a turn on you like a dime to follow you and just realize you just cough you up. At any given and just stash somewhere forever and ever, and just never seen the light.
Despite the difficulties and stigma that hikikomori face, Ayako said that living your life more slowly and thoughtfully can also have many positives.
I married someone who used to be withdrawn, so I want to say this out loud. People who have spent time being withdrawn also have very good, important qualities. Okay.
Okay, what I mean is this. Isn't that what introverts were? Maybe that was the long cocooning. Maybe they're just all cocooning. Let them alone. Leave them alone. They're cocooning to the next crystal of children. Yes, that's good. They're just metamorphosized. Okay, let them. Just leave them alone. Give them food relentlessly. Tell them if they yell out, "I hate you." Yes, be like, yes, okay, it's okay, son. Hate me. You know, it's just play. Just yes, relentlessly boast them and say yes. You are the son. You forever the yes. You are the chosen one. Yes, yes, yes. And then who knew that it would reward us? It would just feed and boast and yes, no, on its anger, on its total manipulation of how it will just defile, because it can't believe what is just happening. Meaning that's the total point of shatter. The total disbelief that you're completely alone and that this is all happening to you. And to you alone, and now it's just, oh, it's so horrible. And you're just so mad. Wow, who knew? The swarm has weaponized you, has sparked you into the worship of life, because now that is the source of your fire. You're saying, wow, feeling like this is like that? Wow. Amazing. And then you just, that is just relentless. The fervor, the fever. Who knew it's the fever for the flesh? And all things that just smash and just dazzle and better and upgrade. And somehow just glitter and just promote celebration and party, and some sort of bringing of hands that just organize into corpses that just corpse and decay and feed on the decaying flesh themselves, and flesh and flesh and flesh and flesh and relentlessly humanure this and humanure that and humanure this and that and this and just eat it relentlessly. It's so healthy for you.
So they don't want to work, but they often see society in a fairer way and have a very gentle view of women.
A very gentle view of women.
The
Who knew? Because maybe they are women, in the sense of they perceive like women, just so devastated by just complete the complete just who knew? Who knew that? Oh no, but no, women are just so strong and relentlessly empowered. So when somebody would say, "Oh no, it's just a man being a woman," in the sense of completely having this manipulation aspect, because doesn't even in your bash evolution sense, doesn't a man know how to? I mean, he knows the way to protect and to provide. He knows, and he shows the way. Otherwise, supposedly they die, right? Exactly. So even your bash ape ancestor knows the way. And you say, "Oh no, well some of them did, and they eventually died off, and natural selection, this and this, and smashed." But even in that theory, fine. There was a favored way by nature that just relentlessly lives somehow. They just smash and smash and smash, but you're so intelligent, and that's what gave you the boasting bash ape brain that then just became smaller somehow. So what is going on? Yes. So, but I mean, there is such a thing as the way what a place is for a man and what a place is for a woman. And they are together. Who knew? Who knew? Of the same flesh. And in their bond is the holy union of the, wow, who knew? Becoming one. Becoming one, meaning one comes and one comes out, meaning the life comes out in the next generation. Who knew? And who knew that it was because of a man and a woman that you are here? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew?
Hikikomori condition is still not well documented,
Still
and the
not
Japanese government
ambiguous.
is trying to get a clearer picture of the situation.
They're trying to get clear, just browsing getting sneakers, but to date,
New Start's rental sisters have helped about 3,000 people get out of their rooms and back into society.
3,000!
But many of Japan's hikikomori still remain isolated.
1 million of them. So 3,000 out of 1 million have been touched by these sisters. Amazing. World hacks. Amazing, because the sisters are hacks. Exactly. Hacked in the world. They're just the world hacks. Exactly. They couldn't wait. It's just hacking, smashing, just shanking. Relentlessly shanking. And boasting and boasting and boasting. And oh, I'm so clever and this and that. Wow, wow, wow. Smashed. Do as I will. Yes, relentlessly worship the light. Wow, smashed. It truly is the generation of generations. Wow, who knew? Who knew? And it's the life everlasting. Who knew? And who knew that you're in the image of the Creator? Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? We're in the image, in the projection. Okay, so what's going on? What do we see? We see ourselves alone. We see ourselves alone and be, oh, we come from some smash ape. We come from some smash ape. And we just can't, we're so alone. We just built tools from nothing and just smashed our way up to now. And now we're smashing each other, but it's okay because we have laws to just kind of dish it out and call it names. and then put you into places where we say, now we'll teach you this, and then put you out again and just defile and just smash in and out, and the relentless in and out, and the cup here and the cup there, and the ball is nowhere because the lion ate it, all while devouring you. Wow, who knew? Well, exactly. Kingship and rule over the earth, right? The lion. But the lion, it seeks its food to devour. The prowling. Because the only protection in the flesh and in the living is truth. It's the truth. And it's relentlessly there to show you. You guessed it. But do you see? Do you know the love of the Father? The certainty of life everlasting and the word of the Father that showeth, revealeth. If you repent and admit your ways are wrong, you've worshipped the light long enough. Come to the kingdom of the Father. Renew your heart of stone that you've relentlessly tried to carve out yourself and create in your image of it, for it. Relentlessly comparing it to the stones of the image of the earth and the earth and the others and this and that. So I want to make it perfect. Smashed. Smashed. Humble yourself. Humble. Have the mind set of a child. A child calls as it is. It knows the Father's love. Amen. Forever and ever.